Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today is the 28th of June 2026. We're fast approaching July, so I thought we'd just do short video for July and August for every ascendant and also moon sign, because it's good to read your chart from the moon sign just to see how the transit feel. So I'm going to just go through the transits so we can actually have a look at them. Let's just have a look at the chart for this period. Excuse me. Okay, as you can see, obviously Saturn has been in Pisces for a while and will carry on being there for a period of time still. But it will actually go retrograde on the 27th of July. And we'll also have got Jupiter, which is again going to be in Cancer for a while. So Saturn has, for all of us, has an impact on Taurus, has an impact on Virgo, and also on Sagittarius. So, as well as obviously, rules Capricorn and Aquarius too. So, very important planet. We put effort into where the third aspect is. The seventh aspect is highly respectful, and where we have all our honor and commitment, loyalties. And 10th from it is obviously how it's projected onto the world. Excuse me, I'm just going to cough. Excuse me. Then we have Jupiter. Jupiter rules obviously Sagittarius and Pisces, and it's going to be aspect in Pisces, aspect in Saturn, which is great because excuse me, Pisces is a sign of spirituality and letting go of just mundane things that are not true, really. They're just like we are in a material world. It's letting go of all those kind of things and seeing the bigger picture. So by both these two planets having an impact on Pisces, it's very important. I'm sure on the hashtags you've seen the Great Awakening, that people are waking up, people are just seeing that things are not as they seem, all that kind of stuff. So Pisces, by the nature of Jupiter aspect in it, is being protected. So that's a very, very good sign. It also rules, as I said, Sag and Pisces, but it's having three aspects, just like Saturn. So it's aspect in Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces, as we mentioned. So having a massive impact on those, and also Cancer. And actually, if you look at the beginning of the month, it's on the degree that is the most kind of, well, that's the degree, 5 degrees when it's exalted. But it's an exaltation sign. So Jupiter is pretty strong. And then we have the nodes. So nodes are going to be for a while still in Aquarius for Rahu, which is co-rules it with Saturn. So that's great. Rahu rules technology, new things, and all kind of, I would say, kind of rules people who are not kind of different species, who are not particularly human, high dimensional, other dimensions, outer dimensions, those sort of people too, which disclosure about that's coming out. It's also rules AI. So new, particularly in Shatabisha, it's all to do with here 1,000 or 100 healers, as they say. So it's like by the time it comes out of there and goes into Capricorn, that there's going to be new modalities coming out for health and healing. So things are going to really move forward after that, this transit. For K2 is obviously in Leo. Leo is a sign of celebrities, famous people, royalty, big leaders, things like that. And by the nature of that being there in Leo, we know that it's actually, as we have seen, many of the Hollywood greats have passed away. You can just have a look. Just has been so many people. I mean, a lot of them have been very, very old anyway. But just, yeah. So there's loads of people passing away. Lots of changes going on, and also what it does is Sun will be there with it on the 18th. So I think there's going to be maybe in August 18th August. So I think there could be like a major passing away of a royalty or a very sort of significant figure in the world of politics or influence, basically. So that's happening with the nodes. So actually, Rahu is also aspecting Gemini from where it is, and it's also aspecting Libra. And K2 is aspecting the Aries and also Sagittarius. So this has been going on for a while anyway, and I have actually done a video about Sagittarius. You know, it's such an important sign for the remainder of this year. And you'll also see that Mercury will retrograde back to Gemini, and where the Sun is at the moment, and it's again going to have an impact on Sagittarius. So lots going on there. But all the personal planets, one by one, they're coming through, and we'll see them going on to Virgo by the time we finish August. So just wanted to say that Venus is not in a good condition. Venus being obviously the most important feminine planet for everyone. It's in Cancer, which is unfriendly towards, doesn't like being with Jupiter for one thing, doesn't like the moon, so they don't. Venus doesn't like Cancer, but moon likes Venus's sign. It's kind of odd, but anyway. But then it goes into Leo, which are enemies. Sun is enemy to Venus and Venus to the Sun. And then it goes into its debilitation sign, even though it's only really debilitated at 28 degrees. But nonetheless, it's a sign that is like really is a critical, it's digests and dissects everything. And, there's like a post-mortem goes on in that sign. So it's not really in keeping with what Venus is all about. So anyway, this is like an overview of that's going on. For me, the things that really stand out is that obviously Mercury goes retrograde and Saturn goes retrograde. And also the other thing that's interesting to know as well, for me, I think one of the signs that's quite troubling to Mars is Gemini. Mars in Gemini is quite a difficult one, so I would imagine we're going to have like some crazy times because of that happening during this period, and in 3rd of August. So it's just very, very interesting time to watch it. Not only does it go into Gemini, but also we have 2 eclipses happening, but which are, the first one is more really the solar eclipse happening on 12th of August. It's really more to do with, you can see more on the zodiac, tropical zodiac. But definitely we have the 28th of August as well, where we have the partial lunar eclipse occurring in Aquarius. So it's like really interesting time going on there. So these for me really stand out. But anyway, let's just walk through and just see what we can see from this this period for the ascendant. So hello there, thank you for joining me. This video is for Aquarius Ascendant and Aquarius Moon. Just going to plug myself in. Okay, hope you're doing okay. So basically, let's have a look at the chart. I'm just going to go through very key dates for the next 2 months. Gives us a little chance to plan ahead. So it's funny, really. This keeps changing things. My software probably tied it out. Anyway, let's go to Aquarius. So here we are. Aquarius, as you can see, you have Rahu and your ascendant, first house ruler in the first house, nice and strong. And you have a lot going on this month, and next month is all about your 6th and 7th house, having stelliums in there, and also an eclipse. Eclipses occur in those areas of your life as well. So anyhow, let's get going with this. I'm going to go to the 5th of July first. So the 4th, 5th, we have Venus goes into, Venus is for you, Yoga Karaka, 4th and 9th house ruler, goes into your 7th house, creates a nice Raja Yoga for you guys, 9th house ruler in the 7th house, and it's sitting with Ketu, which is your 10th house ruler. So this brings 9th and 10th house ruler in the 7th house. So it's, although Venus is not in good condition in Leo, it really doesn't like the sign. But it is a creative sign, and he's sitting there with K2, which is a friendly planet to Venus. So it could, it could just be that. So basically, you are going to come across females, or kind of like people generally that are going to be quite Venusian. People that you might have known before coming into your life. Could be an old love comes back, if not from this lifetime, another lifetime, for those of you who are single. But yeah, generally speaking, it's you want to be out there, really enjoying beautiful spiritual things, more feminine, Venus, wherever it is, we really enjoy being with other people and with your partner as well. So it's quite a romantic sign as well. Leo and Venus, obviously planets of love, so all very good there. And then we have on the 7th Mercury. There we go. Mercury goes back in its own sign. So Mercury going into Gemini, and it's sitting with the Sun, two friendly planets to each other. So bring together 5th and 7th house ruler. Quite nice for romance and being with your partner and children, having a nice time. Very nice. Mercury is obviously a little bit passive, so it doesn't want to be doing as much as it normally does, because Mercury can be a little bit too busy at times. And the next kind of important date is the 14th, where just have to change this. Oh, changes the but anyway, have to do it because basically there is there's a new moon in your 5th house, and as you can see in your 5th house you have 6th house ruler, 7th house ruler, and 5th and 8th house ruler. So lots of changes going on if you are kind of got things going on with, like, for example, because 6th house is, you're trying to manage yourself, manage your accounts, how you're spending money. There's got to be like working really hard, because moon rules your 6th house of service, and it's also a house of like how you eat, how you exercise, how just manage and look after your well-being, if you like, too. And so it's actually encouraging you to be doing more fun stuff, more creative stuff. So 5th house is house of children, academia, house of being involved with others, like going picnicking, doing more creative stuff, singing and seeing bands or theatre and stuff like that, doing nice things really. So working hard, but trying to also bring some element of fun and change to the normal routines as well. So I am just going to change the ascendant, because want you to see the big picture, but obviously, changes the dynamics a little bit. But anyway, so let's now go to what would be the 17th. So we have Sun going into own sign. 17th, 18th, actually. So sorry, goes into Cancer, not into beg your pardon. On the 17th, it goes into Cancer, and then we have two very very good friendly planets together in the 6th house. Jupiter, obviously nice and strong, and it's also your money making machine going into planet going into your 6th house. So it has been there for a while, and it will still be there for a while longer. So basically, Jupiter is helping you get rid of your debts, if you like, getting rid of all those trying to help you manage your money. Sixth house is managing things, so it's literally it's like an educational time regarding money, assets, looking, saving, all that kind of stuff. And Sun is there. Sun is seventh house ruler in the sixth house, so also Sun is very good at being in sort of Dushtana house, so it's nice and strong. So it's going to help Jupiter with whatever it needs to be done. And obviously seventh house ruler in the sixth house, so it could be like, just got to be careful not to be like, create discord or conflict with partners or other people, generally speaking. So, and it's a difficult one because Aquarius, the seventh house, they actually attract those sort of very high status people, and so there could be like conflicts generally, but they quite like that. I think that's it's because they're also quite fixed and they attract people quite fixed as well. So it's quite a dynamic thing going on between the two signs. So, but now let's go on the 24th when Mercury goes direct. So Mercury in own sign. Sorry about that. In own sign, nice and strong. Fifth house ruler in the fifth house, direct. So it's really good at kind of managing that kind of more creative side of you. Things that you want to do, mercurial things come with beauty and grace now because Mercury is nice and strong. And then obviously the next big thing will be for 27th when we have Saturn going retrograde. Now, Saturn for you is first and 12th house ruler, and it's in the second house. So Saturn has probably caused you some expenses, some money issues and things like that. So now during the time that is kind of quite passive, so you can actually think about ways and means of actually getting rid of that situation. So yeah, and so there could have been some expenses, and it's still going on because Saturn is still going to be in Pisces for a while longer yet. So, and then we have on the 30th of the month, we have literally a full moon situation going on between, which happens in your 12th house. So this is literally working behind the scenes. It could be that you finish a job, you end the job, or you work behind the scenes, but definitely sort of thinking about changing jobs, closing one chapter of your life, and starting something different. These are sort of things that are on your mind, really. So, and you can manifest those quite well when Sun is in a strong position, Jupiter is in a strong position, and Moon is also aspecting own sign. So yeah, so you're probably thinking, planning, and imagining things that could change, some endings in order to start new beginnings. Could be, some people could be also during this time like being made redundant, maybe even from their jobs. So and now let's go to August. I'm going to go to August 2nd. August 2nd, Venus goes into unfriendly kind of, in terms, it's friend sign, but it's unfriendly in the case that it's very much to do with detail, and Venus is more like the big picture, glass is half full, doesn't really like being, dealing with sort of like detail so much. But so Venus goes in there. Venus for you, obviously Yoga Karaka planet, fourth and ninth house ruler, now is actually in the eighth house. So some changes could be that something that you might need to embrace. Excuse me. And that could, that could be something to do with your home. Maybe you want to change, decorate some things, or or for example, your car could also like change a car, or it also could be like your ninth house, so ending of like some sort of educational thing that you've been doing. Those could be the focus of this period when Venus is in there. And then the next thing is Mars goes into, actually it's already there because it's end of the day. So Mars goes into basically Gemini, so it's not a great place for Mars. I feel as though it's probably the weakest sign really for Mars. It's unfriendly sign, and it's sitting with Mercury, which is also unfriendly towards Mercury. So it's very good to just bear that in mind, that it's house of communication, sign for communication, Gemini. So maybe read through your messages before you send them. However, you know how you can use this is like, obviously uses, it's your third house ruler in the fifth house. So it's very, very creative time, very romantic time. So you can you know, if you've met somebody and you're dating, it could just be like, they could, you know, it could be a very good communication time, you know. So putting lots of effort into dating and meeting other people, or even doing lots of creative stuff, you know, like being out and about, going to gigs and concerts and theatre, and just really having a good time, live music, etc. And then we have then on the 6th, Mercury goes to Cancer. Fifth, 6th. Oh my goodness, all the dates are a bit, because it's end of the day and I've done them from, anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we have like Mercury on the 6th is in an unfriendly sign. So Mercury does not like to be in Cancer and does not like to be in with Jupiter. So yeah, interesting. So basically, it's your 6th house is accommodating Mercury, Jupiter, and the Sun. So a lot going on in your 6th house of working, dealing with sort of conflicts and managing self, paying bills, etc. And but Mercury is very clever in the 6th house, so it's the Sun. So they help each other quite a bit. So all is not lost, because, you know, Jupiter is also a planet of grace. So all is good, and it's in very good condition too. So, and then we go, the next thing I would probably say is the 12th of August. So on the 12th, we have basically, I mean, in kind of the tropical zodiac, or actually if you're using also true nodes, then what will happen is we have an eclipse going on, which is actually a solar eclipse in Cancer in Asclesia. So it's but it sees here as a new moon, which basically is about like bondage, and like we're holding on to things that really is not very healthy. And, you know, like for example, it could be like a relationship that really needs to be ending because it's becoming a little bit toxic, or a relationship that has finished, but energetically we can't let that person or ourselves let go of it. So it just means it's holding us back, holding them back, and creating kind of karmic things. So it's really good to just be like letting things go with love, and really work on the change and what the change can bring for you in terms of new better energy, and just being able to just emotionally detach from things that no longer serve you, and so that your life can move forward with love. And then we have Sun goes into Leo on the 17th, 18th. So this is Sun goes in own sign. So 7th house ruler in the 7th house with K2. Doesn't particularly like being with K2, but it's nice and strong, and K2 takes the Sun's ego away, which is wonderful. And so this is a nice placement. And then Mercury goes into Leo a few days later on the 23rd. And now Mercury is in much better condition. Jupiter is also sigh of relief. It's all on its own now. So we have Mercury in friendly sign, Sun in own sign. Mercury is also friendly with K2. So Mercury is in very good condition, loves being in the 7th house because he likes interacting with people. And so basically now we have 5th house ruler in the 7th house, creating a beautiful yoga or two with the Sun and Leo. So that's pretty nice. And also it's your 10th house ruler K2, which is having a sort of like conjunction with your 5th house ruler, which is a really nice Raja Yoga of success. So all in all, pretty good in that sense. And then after that, what happens is basically on the 28th, we have a partial lunar eclipse occurring in on your basically your 1st house. So this is Rahu 1st house ruler, Moon 6th house ruler, 7th, 5th, and 8th house ruler, and also 10th house ruler. So all of those, they are the focus of this this eclipse. So there's a lot of things, like there's a bit of a fog, things are under a veil, and soon after the eclipse you get clarity about all those areas of your life, and you can then move forward with the help of the eclipse bringing these into your attention and awareness, and then you're able to act on those. So that's what I see for these two months, and just gives you the, you know, the kind of the more important dates. And have a good month or two, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.